have been benevolent in your home community through the Tennessee River Run and the Darryl Worley Foundation. And I don't want to slight that. I want you to address that. But I also want you to talk about the work you've done with the military and how that has, you talk about marriage and childhood, you know, parenthood changing you. How did that trip, how did that military connection change you and all the events that followed September 11th, 2001, and all the trips you've made over there?
Well, you know, without just getting on that whole have you forgotten subject, which obviously changed a whole lot in my life, but the opportunity to do those things, I really had no idea it's hard to put a value on something like that, but I know what it's worth now. There's no amount of money, you know, that could pay for something like that. I grew up around the military. I grew up in a military family. One side of my family, they all go and join the Army, and the other side all go and join the Navy. And you should see them when we all get together. And so
it really is war stories when you get to family together.
And real ones too.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
And that's where I was kind of going with that. Is you grow up around that and you think that, man, I've heard it all. So when the Sergeant Major of the Army calls up and says, hey, we want you to go and do this USO tour with us, and it's not going to be a normal thing like you would go and just hit like really big bases and do shows that are way back here off the front line. Because you're traveling with the Sergeant Major of the Army, you're going to be going into remote, like forward operating bases. It's just a little more dangerous, and it's a little more nerve-wracking sometimes. And I said, yeah, I'm in. And so I took one of my players, and we rehearsed with the Army band, put together a show. And the first trip, there wasn't a war in Iraq, but the Afghanistan thing was raging, and it floored me. All that stuff that I had heard didn't mean nothing. I got a saying now: you don't know till you go. You don't know till you go. It just made me, all those uncles and aunts and cousins, I had a completely new respect for them, and the people out there that serve in our military. I wish there was some way that I could, put it into words what they mean to me because of what I've experienced on these trips. We've done it now. We've been in the Middle East 5 or 6 times, and it's incredible. It is. And let me throw this in because this is what they ask me to do when I get a chance. They've said it 1,000 times. Please give them the message back home that we're doing a good job, because they really feel slighted, by media and certain outlets that they don't feel like they know what's going on, and they don't feel like that the positive things that they accomplish on a daily basis are being brought out in all that, and it's not. But I'm here to tell you that when you go year after year, you see the change, not just in physical structures, but in the people, in the Iraqi people. You become able to sense, wow, what about how different this is from last year, and from being down in Armadi when the fighting was going on to the next year you're there, they're having a 5K run in the streets.
Oh, wow.
So don't tell me they hadn't done a good job,